Monday is back, and so is your dose of Monday Hair Booster. I'm Dr. Shivani Sood, the director, founder Shivani Ayurveda. And in today's Monday Hair Booster, I will be telling you why is it important to have a good relationship with your father. So, belated happy Father's Day to all the male out there who are awesome fathers and support their children in every possible way. Your contribution of raising a child is as equally important as a mother, because the kind of love you give is very different to a mother's love. And in today's Monday Hair Booster, I'll be talking about why it's good to have a good relationship with the masculine energy, which shows in your life in the first person as your father. Now, let me ask you this. Think for a second about your father, you know, and then look at your relationship with your current partner, or with the other males around. Do you see some connection? Often there is, because let's say that your father was a very dominant person, so there are two options. Either you took up this dominance and you believe in the patriarchy, and you follow your husband and all the things he says, or you revolted and you did your life in your own way without following patriarchy. And this of course depends on your psychological type. It's also about, like, if you're able to emotionally communicate with your father, so then you're much more open to talk about emotions with male. Whereas if your father doesn't talk about emotions, you have to develop a special understanding on how he expresses his emotion and accept that, because that's how your father is. So whatever your relationship with your father, the first man of your life, is definitely affecting the woman you are, or it's definitely affecting the man you are. So it's very important to pay attention to this role. Now, why am I speaking about relationships being a doctor? That is because conflicted relationships at home are the biggest pain point in one's life. Career and your work sometimes goes good and sometimes doesn't go good, and we can resolve it by seeking some right help, changing job and so on. But the pain which relationships can cause in our life and deeply impact us in a profound way is something that we must learn how to resolve it, and how to put our relationships in the right way in our life, because you can say the relationships are the soil in which we are growing. So father is having a very important role in this relationship as well. So you can just write down about your father, and you can write about your relationship with men, or if you're a man, you can write your relationship with understanding the male species, and this will give you a deeper understanding about how the relationship with your father has impacted you. Now, what are the top three things what a father's energy brings in? And I'll finish off the video with telling what to do if you don't have a father in your life. For example, you belong to a family where your mother was divorced from your father, or in very unfortunate case, you never knew who your father was. So how can you do to that? What can you do about that? Now, the top three things what the father brings in is, first of all, confidence and strength. So the father's energy, we have the yin and the yang, and the father's energy is bringing in the solar side of the person. So it definitely gives us strength and confidence when we see our father by our side, and he is actually protecting us when we cannot protect ourselves, and he is there for us when there is some problems, handling the problems for us. So that's the first thing the father's energy gives. It gives you strength and confidence. The second thing, it teaches you communication. For daughters, it teaches you communication with the male species. For a son, it shows the path a son has to go in order to feel fulfilled as a man. So in both the cases, the sons and the daughter need the father for communication, to show them the right path and to teach them communication. But the third and the most important thing, what a father's energy brings in, is the feeling of trust. Because when you grow up in security and when you grow up with feeling that everything is under control, you learn how to trust life and you don't push yourself so hard because you know that life is safe. So the father's energy bringing in trust is definitely influencing our abilities to see our problems and not be overwhelmed by them and sort them out slowly. So you can see that already, that in case if we don't have a father or if we have a bad relationship with the father, then either of these three things are affected, and that makes us do more and more and more than required and push ourselves in the wrong way and have the wrong communication with people and create a lot of conflicts in our life. And as I said to you, the conflicts actually make you sick. So it is very important to have a good relationship with your father. And in the last but not the least, if you're a mother who has sons and father is not there, you can also have father figure. Can't find a father figure, send him to a male therapist to teach him how to handle the masculine energy in a good way. Because a good psychological development definitely means more ability to navigate through life in a much proper way. And that's why it's very important that you develop a good relationship with your father. It's never too late. You can start understanding his perspective. When you start understanding his point of view, you will understand that it might be different from yours, but you will also understand from where you have origined and which kind of thinking is deep inside you because of the father's energy and because of the way he sees life. So connecting everything is Ayurveda, connecting ourselves with our body, connecting ourselves with our parents, connecting ourselves with our friends. So happiness comes from connection, and this is a very, very important point. So that's all for this Monday Hill Booster, and I will be back in the next week telling you more about how to help yourself in a more efficient and a proper way based on the beautiful science of Ayurveda. Bye bye and take care.